Okay. Looks like we are recording. Okay. Hi, mamas. It's Graham. And I wanted to share a quick video with you all today about how I use the Whole Human Mama Planner. Um, of course, this isn't telling you how you should use it, right? It's your planner and your life. But I wanted to talk to you just really fast about how I make it work. Because what I've heard from a lot of people is, I got the planner. I love it. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, look at all this stuff inside. And then a couple weeks later, I'm like, so hey, how's it going with the planner? Oh, I haven't really sat down with it yet. Right? So this is how I make it work for me, how I have um, gotten into the habit of using the planner. Okay. So it's a little bit different for me because I run the Mom Center. One of the things that I have to do every week is write our theme post for the week. So, like, this is what we're going to focus on this week, y'all. And what I've done is I've connected that to me sitting down. I have the planner right here. Me sitting down with the planner and planning out my week. So, something that could work for you is hooking it into something that you are already doing or that you already have to do on a regular basis so that it gets you started. And I found that once I had done it about 3 weeks, I was just constantly carrying this thing around and looking at it all the time, which is again one of the reasons I'm glad that I made a little tiny small one so that I can constantly carry it around and it's fine. It works. But it did take about 3 weeks for me to get in the groove of using it, even though I'm the one that made the dang thing, right? Okay, so um, what I do is on Sunday afternoons, because that's when it works for me and my family. On Sunday afternoons, I actually go into my basement and close the door, and I bring my phone, and I bring my laptop, and I bring my planner because we do a lot of our family planning on a big Google calendar that links with our son's Google school stuff, and it links with Adam's stuff, and it has everybody. It's like the brain of our household. But for me and my life, I like paper. So I sit down with the planner and I start with this weekly priorities. Um, they're usually emotional, quite honestly, more than, oh, I have to make sure that I get Rory new shoes, or I have to make sure that Andrew's science project is done, or whatever. It's generally more like, I'm really tired. I need rest, or I miss my people. I need to spend more time with my friends this week. Um, Obviously via Zoom, but still, right? It's generally more emotional for me. Um, Again, for me, you do this however works for you, right? So I write out my priorities for the week. I usually write whatever the theme for the Mom Center for the week is going to be in big, like I take up this whole area and I just write across it, usually with a marker. The theme for this week is wanting, and so that's going up at the top, and I make it pretty because I like crayons and markers and I play. Then I have priorities for my family, right? And then I have priorities for our space. So usually the priorities for our space is something that needs to get fixed or something that needs to get cleaned. Um, the playroom is looking really nasty. We need to work on that. Or, bedrooms really absolutely have to get done this week, whatever it is, right? And doing that first, like if you do it the way it's laid out, instead of jumping into the to-do list, if you set your priorities first, you can let that inform your to-do list. Does that make sense? Um, and then I just list it all out. I get all the crap out of my head. And the reason that the bottom of the to-do list says that's enough, stop, go back, review, cross some things off, delegate some things. The reason that it says that is because I am famous for writing 10 million things on a to-do list, knowing that there's only 24 hours in a day and I don't have any assistants. So how am I going to get those things done? Right? I'm famous for that. Starting with my priorities has really helped me stop doing that quite so much. Especially if I keep them open like this, if you lay it out like this so that you're looking at your priorities while you're writing your to-do list and you can be like, wait a minute. No, that thing doesn't actually have to get done this week. That thing's not going to help me hit my priorities this week, right? Or I've totally forgotten. I've written out all my to-do stuff and I've totally forgotten that I'm really lonely and I need to talk to my friends. Oh, that needs to go on my list, right? Um, my meal planner page, I actually hand to Adam because he does the meal planning. He sits down with the kids after I've come back up out of my cave. He sits down with the kids and does the meal planning with them. So I don't really use the meal planner page. Sorry, can't help you with that one. um, Projects is generally where I'm writing work stuff, but whatever works for you, write down in projects. What I have done that's been really, really helpful is when there's something that needs to happen in the house that I know is a big deal, like we need to clean the playroom. That's all hands on deck. That'll go into the projects. That's where I'll brainstorm, like, okay, what day and how do we do this? Is this going to take multiple days? Is this like, how do I want to plan this out? Right. Um, and then I started using the MySpace page for work stuff, for work brainstorming. And I realized pretty quickly I do that all the time. My brain is always doing that. I don't generally give myself enough space to think about other things, to just daydream, to just let my brain go and see where it would take me, to think about things I want to learn or things I want to try or um, whatever. So it has become more of a daydreaming space than a work brainstorming space. But again, y'all, whatever works for you and whatever works for you each week, it's totally fine if you do something different constantly, right? Um, so once I have all of these things kind of out of my head, then I can separate day by day what needs to get done each day, right? Um, and that is the process that I use going through the week so that by the time I get to that daily spread, and the daily spread, just so that you can see it here, right? This is the page that I generally have bookmarked. This is the page that I'm looking at a million times a day, every single day, right? Because this is where I'm writing down appointments. This is where I'm writing down notes about like, oh, this absolutely has to happen. This is where I'm writing down like Andrew has his reading buddy on Wednesday and Friday, and you know, all of the stuff that I absolutely can't forget. But generally, if I've done the other pages first, and the first couple of times that I did this, it took probably about half an hour to even get to this point. Now, it takes probably about 10 minutes. Depends on how much stream time I want to spend in the MySpace page. Um, but I move through it pretty quickly because I'm in a groove, right? And what I have found is that I stay more organized. I have less time of like, wait, what was I supposed to do? What time was his thing? Ah, right, because I do have memory issues. And so it really helps with that. But it has also really helped me to prioritize every single day and to cut back on the overwhelm every single day. Um, right now, the only daily habits that I'm tracking are water and going outside. So there's space for all of these habits, and I'm using 2 of them. That's fine. I'm not going to judge myself for how many habits I'm tracking. You might not be tracking any habits. You might be like, cool, I'm going to use this grid for something totally different. Yes, please do that. Okay. Um, but I am tracking my water intake because it's made a huge difference for me personally with everything else. And I have very much this note is to myself that it is all about data. It's about data collection and not about judging. So really, it's like, oh, Wednesday, barely drank any water at all. How did I feel on Thursday and Friday? Oh, okay, now I'm seeing it, right? Instead of Wednesday, I barely drank any water at all. I'm horrible. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna reach any of my goals, and I'm never gonna like that second part isn't helpful. The first part of connecting, maybe my headache on Thursday was about how much I didn't drink on Wednesday. Okay. All right. How can I get some support? What do I need to be able to drink more water? You know, I've kind of enlisted my entire family into reminding me constantly. And it gets really annoying, but it's been effective. So they are allowed to annoy me. They have been requested to annoy me. And then I usually do my weekly wrap up right before I do the next week. I sit down on Sundays and I think back over the week. And my goal is always to fill the entire awesomeness section chock full. Uh, I'm not generally good at gratitude. It's just I'm a pessimist, and I always see all of the bad stuff. And so making it gratitude just didn't really sit well with me. But looking for awesomeness has been really helpful. And it primes my brain to look for awesomeness throughout the week. And so sometimes things will happen and I'll go and grab the planner and be like, I have to write this down because that was awesome. That was so cool. Um, Andrew got called up in class to like write on the board via Zoom, take over as a host and do a whole thing. And he was so proud of himself that he got the math problem right. And then he asked his teacher if he could come and get me so I could see it. It was so sweet. And I immediately, after telling him how fabulous he was and thanking Miss Anglin for allowing him to, the time to go and get me, I immediately went and sat down and put it in the awesomeness column. Like, it was just so cool, right? And it happened also on a very hard day. It's something that would have been really easy for me to skip over. And focusing on the awesomeness constantly has been really, really personally helpful. So I hope it's helpful for you as well. Um, and then the things that I'm letting go of, man, I'm not always perfect. Writing it down on this piece of paper does not mean that it is magically let go. That's not how it works. But and every week there's generally the same things on there. But it means that I'm constantly trying to let those things go instead of letting them weigh me down. And it has been a good reminder of, oh, I should probably talk to my therapist about this. This has been on the list 4 weeks in a row. Maybe I should have a conversation, right? So it's been really helpful that way. And then the letter to myself about my week is really just me momming myself as much as possible. I try to think of the grace that I need to give myself, something that I'm proud of myself for, something that I'm forgiving myself for, right? Um, some way that I can hug myself with some words. And then I take a deep breath and I move on to the next week. So yeah, that is really how I do it. It is about creating the time. And that is the part that I can't do that part for you. You have to choose yourself. You have to say, I'm going to take 5 or 10 minutes. And if that's all that you can carve out in the beginning, and all that you can do is pull up one page and work on one page a week, that's totally fine. You do not have to do every spread that is in this planner in order to get value out of the planner, in order to let it help you in changing your life. You do not have to do all of it. You don't even have to do most of it. There may be one or two spreads that are super impactful for you, and the rest of them you sometimes do, sometimes and you sometimes don't do, and that is 100% fine, right? This is not any kind of a set in stone thing. This is your planner, your life, your way. That's one of the reasons that it is quarterly, is so that you can honestly toss it and start fresh when a new one comes in the mail. Being able to restart constantly without judging ourselves for how much we completed or didn't complete, I think is just really helpful for all of us. Okay. So, um, just a quick reminder, the price for the subscription is going up on February 1st. So the price that's on the website right now, the 85, is going up to 100 on February 1st. So if you've been thinking about getting the planner, now is the time to jump in. Quarters go from whenever you start. So it starts from about 10 days after you get your first planner is when I start the countdown clock for your quarter. So that gives you enough time to, get the actual planner and have it in your hands, right? So you don't have to feel like, oh, I missed the whole first quarter. I'm not going to get all 4 planners. Yes, you are. Your year starts whenever you start your year. Okay. Um, I am already cooking up some awesomeness that's going to drop in the goodies folder. All of the planner subscribers get a link to a Google folder that is the planner goodies. And I'm already coming up with some amazingness that's going to drop in there at the end of February, is when the next round of yumminess goes out. Every other month, you'll get goodies stuff in there. So yeah, I'm excited about it. There's going to be a workshop on aligning your values with your actions and how you can use the planner to do that. And there's going to be a workshop on quarterly intention settings. You also get a free trial in the Mom Center. You get to come and hang out with us in the Mom Center. So this is, packed full of good stuff. And I hope that whether you're using my planner or whether you're using, a calendar on your phone, or whether you're using like we do a massive Google family calendar, that whatever you're doing, that you're planning some time in there that's just for you. That's at least half an hour. That's just for you, right? It's really important. It's really important. Okay, mamas, I have been Graham. If there's anything that you need, if there's any questions that you have, you can hit reply to this email and just let me know, or you can email me directly, graham@grahamcbrook.com. You can reach me through the website, grahamcbrook.com. Yeah, I'm here. I am here and I'm ready to have your back whenever you need me. All right. Take really good care of yourselves, and I'll see you later.